Goblin talking with one of her. All right, you want capital? Yes, we can do that.
Yeah, it's just capital O, capital M, and then I'm sure you do capital E, capital G. Yay!
Boom. Boom. Yeah, we could do that. Beautiful. All right, back to the starting student screen.
Yeah. Warm up for a few minutes while people are coming in.
For sure. Have you been in the new zone at all yet?
I have. I guess when our audio goes live, I could actually.
It is live. Our audio is live.
Okay, cool. Hey guys. I think this launch has been absolutely disastrous, and I absolutely hate the patch. At least right now. Let me mute your stream so I don't hear myself. But the thing that aggravates me is just that there's nothing to do outside of the quests. Like you quest and renown grind, like and maybe farm valor stones, but like you can't do any of the mythic zeros. You can't gear anything right now. So really the only thing you can do is level alts to 80 or just like quest.
Can you even do the new dungeon? Okay, you can't do the new dungeon, but yeah, I was expecting to be able to do it on Mythic Zero, which was really whack.
Right. I was expecting to do my Mythic Zero farms and get prepped for raid, but there's like nothing to do. And then performance was just awful yesterday. Servers were crashing left and right. And then even throughout the night for several hours after the launch of the new patch, I was experiencing latency issues that were server side. So it was like I would press an ability, or I would click on a quest and it would take 7 seconds for the quest to actually open, or I would have to reload my client over and over and over again just to accept quests for the campaign.
I just figured out what I can do to make you look taller.
Taller? I don't need to look taller.
Well, they don't have to. They at the same level. There.
Okay.
Oh, whoops.
Yeah,
not that one. Gotta get the right one here. There we go.
Let me soften my lighting a little bit so I'm not absolutely blinding the viewers with my whiteness.
Hey, I'm right there with you. Right there with you.
So we'll soften this. Maybe add like a little, like the dark background over here. Okay, we'll open this on this side. It's a little better, I think. I hope.
I like it. It looks good. Looks good.
All right.
All right. Well, I think I'm ready if you're ready to start.
Yeah, I think I'm about ready as well. So I'm gonna take a swig of water and then I'll just send it into the intro and we'll get talking about WoW, my favorite game,
Yeah.
some of the time.
Kind of a curse.
That's going in the bloopers. All right. What is up, everyone? Overlord Moon here from the Overlord Moon channel. Today, I'm here talking with my good friend Erratic. So thankful to him for letting me hijack his stream. And today, we're going to be talking to y'all, just having a little chat about our accomplishing our goals in season 1 of The War Within, what our goals are for season 2, and telling you the truth about really reaching your goals in World of Warcraft in a little bit of a more realistic way than what you may see portrayed on social media. So, without further ado, let's just jump right into it. So, Erratic, you
Yes.
have been pushing for. No, I'm not going to crash out. Okay. You have been pushing for Gladiator for 4 years now. You have finally accomplished that goal of achieving Gladiator. And I know you shared your story a little bit. I'll go ahead and link the video when this comes out on YouTube so people can check your story out in a little bit more depth. But I want to start by asking you, what was the most challenging part of your journey in that 4-year time frame where you were pushing for Gladiator?
That's a really good question. So the hardest part of like trying to get better at PvP is like learning what you don't know, because like you can sit there and grind games all day, every day, and just not get better. And a lot of it has to do with not knowing what you don't know. And that's kind of like where I got stuck for a very long time, because I was playing with people and we were all the same experience and we just didn't know really how to improve. So until I actually kind of branched out and started playing with people who were, you know, more experienced with years of experience in arenas, who had gotten to higher ratings and stuff like that, I didn't really get to grow until I got to that point. And it's not really, you know, I wouldn't blame the people I was playing with. It was, we were all kind of stuck. And it was really just due to the lack of experience to get better. So yeah, as far as like the most challenging thing, it was realizing I needed to do that, to actually grow and get better at the game.
I could definitely relate to that too. You don't know what you don't know, and it's very much like when you're playing with players who are the same experience, you feel like you're the blind leading the blind. And when you get better, especially at PvP, it's not as linear as people think it is. It's very much like a step up at a time, and you're playing against like a different tier of players. So
100%, yeah.
definitely sympathize with that in that regard. Can you share like a standout match or like a highlight or a special moment that really defined your journey?
I can't really pick a standout match, but like I would say the Q session where it was like me and Santi and Rakesy playing Shadow Priest Warrior, and we peaked at 2388, which was like way higher than my previous season. I was like, wait, this is actually going to happen. And it didn't end up happening with them. Again, I had to switch comps and stuff like that to actually be able to keep pushing higher. But yeah, that Q session where like it actually felt like this is going to happen this season, because that was like a month before the season ended. I was like, dang, this is actually going to happen.
Yeah, and your journey especially too, what I find inspiring is that it kind of goes against the standard grain of what people say to improve, where it's just like you pick a comp, you pick your people, and you master that comp and you push for Glad with just that. But you kind of went about it a little bit of a different way. You had to adapt so much to playing with several different players with several different play styles. And you played, I think, a bunch of comps, right? You were playing like Thunder at one point. You were playing Shadow Priest Warrior. You were playing like Ret War. I think you played with an Asarogue at some point too. Like that was very impressive that you had so many, that you had a lot of comp variety in your actual push. But when you are sticking to a goal like Gladiator for so long, because even am still a failed Gladiator at this point, how did you stay motivated over the duration of 4 years, especially during those tough times where you may have, say, like tanked 200 CR in a night or had a really bad Q sesh?
Yeah, so I kind of want to bring it back to a little bit of what you were saying with where I was pushing a bunch of different comps. I definitely think there's validity to choosing, a comp and people to play with and pushing with them until you hit Gladiator. But I think my journey was just different because of the class I was playing and because of the classes my team were playing. It wasn't ever really meta, and so yeah, that's part of why my journey looks very different. I just wanted to bring that up because I don't think that sticking with a comp and pushing that way is an invalid way to do it. I just think you guys have to be playing the right classes. Now, as far as staying motivated, the thing is, I just enjoy World of Warcraft, right? And I set myself the goal of hitting Gladiator. And I mean, I do this with everything in my life. I'll just come up with random goals, and I cannot stop until I've hit the goal. Like I've done it with jujitsu. I've done it with several other hobbies. Stuff at work. Even it's like I don't want to. I'm not very good at half-assing things. So really the motivation, like there's definitely very frustrating nights. It's very easy to blame it and be like, I can't get it. I'm too old. I don't have the reflexes, or, people are gatekeeping. Those kind of thoughts constantly went through my head. But really it all comes down to like, this is a video game. The reason people are higher is because they're better than me. I gotta get better if I want to hit this goal. So that kind of was the motivation that kept me going. Yeah, sorry.
I was just gonna say I don't want to necessarily turn this into a Glaze erratic video, but that is a aspect of you that I deeply admire and draw inspiration from. Is that you, even though you could come off as stubborn at times, you set a goal and you stick to it through the end. That's it's a very good characteristic to have.
I appreciate that. Yeah, so we kind of been talking a lot about me. I kind of wanted to know what your, what I know you had a really good Glad push in season, was it 4 of Dragonflight? Or was it 3? Okay.
Yeah.
And I know it was really frustrating getting super close and not, quite hitting that goal. I mean, I was right there with you. I really thought you were going to get it with how close you were. But I mean, I know how frustrating it is to get close to that goal and not hit it. And you switched over to PvE, and it felt like you had a lot of, fun doing it. Do you want to just talk a little bit about your transition over, what motivated you to do that and how it went?
Yeah, sure thing. So, at least in my push for Gladiator in season 3 of Dragonflight, I had a lot of things stacked against me where at the time I should have just accepted that it was a matter of the season as well as like IRL things. Like I know in the last 2 weeks of the season, my mom was hospitalized. I had mass layoffs at my job. I had to work like 60-hour weeks. I was prepping for vacation. There was a lot of things that went wrong in that regard, as well as just playing in like a very super deflated season. But at the end of the day, I just was not good enough at the time. And with all those factors stacked against me, like it really just came down to player skill. But regardless, that push just drained me, and any motivation I had to play PvP was just completely gone. I went on vacation. I came back. I'm like, man, I don't even know if I want to play WoW anymore. But I reconnected with a couple old friends, and we started playing Mythic Plus again. And something about Mythic Plus was very it was fascinating because it felt fresh and new, and I noticed that my skills transferred over very well from PvP to PvE, where all the fundamentals of the game, like learning my defensives and learning crowd control, what your stops are, knowing my class utilities, such as I was playing Resto Shaman, so I had a I had a purge available to where I could rip, magic buffs off of enemies, and uh, I was able to enjoy the game in a new light in that regard. And season 1 of The War Within, I took the plunge into the PvE scene. I tried out Mythic Raiding. I did okay, I guess, for my first season, and I was able to hit a score of 3K in Mythic Plus, which I'm very happy about. Got it just at the end, and on a brand new healing spec too. But we'll talk a little bit more about that later.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm impressed that you kind of pushed 3K in like basically your first season on a brand new spec. There's a whole discussion between which is easier, PvP and PvE. I could definitely see how PvP, just because you're having to use every aspect of your class to do well in PvP, would transfer over to PvE really well. What would you say is like the toughest part of getting 3K rating? Because like I know when I've done some keystones, I'm like, dude, I hit my 2K and I'm like, it wasn't that hard, but I do not want to push any higher. And to go from 2K to 3K seems like it'd be super difficult.
So the toughest part about PvE climbing is chasing specific dungeons, because you get to a certain score threshold where, let's say I time like 5 dungeons at a level 13 and I'm trying to clear the rest of the 3 dungeons at a level 13. I either need to have the connections that will get me into the level 13 dungeons that I still need to time, or I need to do essentially what are called homework keys, for those of you who may not be like too into Mythic Plus, where you have to do different keys at a lower level that you don't want to do for an RNG chance of getting a attempt at the dungeon that you need to complete. And that can be very frustrating too, is when you're bricking keys over and over and over again, and then you have to spend so much of your time playing trying to farm a key to get back so you could have one more attempt at it. And then especially when it came to like timing the Stone Vault, I have had so many runs brick on the first pull of the dungeon itself, where something will go wrong, a fear cast will get off, we'll have 10 deaths in the first like 5 seconds of the game, and that's it. Like, I got to go back and do more homework. So definitely chasing specific dungeons, I would say, is the most difficult part in Mythic Plus.
That's interesting. I would not have expected that answer, to be honest.
Well, like, I mean, the connections aspect. Like, well, what did you think I was going to say? Because I kind of want to double click on that.
I mean, I don't know. I would think, I guess learning the keys, or yeah. I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't have expected that.
That's fair. That was something that was a little bit new to me too. When I heard, I was watching some rank 1 players. Kess, I was playing Augment Evoker for a little bit, and he was talking about this concept of doing homework keys, and I'm like, what the hell's a homework key? Somebody who's
I've never heard that.
PvP'd before. But yeah.
All right, well, cool. So you switched from like Resto Shaman to Disc Priest. Do you want to talk a little bit about why you did that?
Yeah, and you also switched from Resto Shaman to Preservation Evoker, so the Shaman Council is not looking well upon us at the moment. But I swapped from Resto Shaman to Discipline Priest because in PvP, Resto Shaman plays a little bit differently. In PvP, Resto Shaman is a proactive healer where you have to be ahead of the game. It is very difficult to come back from Resto Shaman when you're behind. Your utilities, such as like Grounding Totem and Trimmer Totem, it's very good disruption. And you have Wind Shear as well. So if you're able to build momentum in an arena match, you can do so well with Resto Shaman. It plays very differently in PvE, where it's a more reactive healer, where really all you do is just throw up your healing rain and maybe throw in a couple chain heals and spam chain lightning. And I found myself getting very bored. Very almost to the point of burnout again in just like a month or two of playing Mythic Plus. And there's always been this allure to Discipline Priest, or really just any healer that has that sort of proactive momentum-based playstyle, where Disc and Resto Shaman are a lot more similar in PvP, but even though Disc is consistent in PvE, Resto Shaman's not. So I was like, okay, I kind of like that playstyle. Discipline Priest kind of fits it. And it's very rewarding when you know when damage is about to happen and you're able to successfully prep it a couple seconds in advance and just do the most healing in the game. It just feels so rewarding. And then you have these cooldowns like Pain Suppression that are damage reduction, where in higher keystones, it's more so about surviving rather than just doing as much damage as you can. And so having 2 extra cooldowns that you can put on the tank and be like, hey, tank, you just call for these and you'll live forever. It makes you a lot of friends very quickly. And I like that aspect of Discipline Priest. But you swapped on over to Preservation Evoker. I'm very curious to know what that motivation was behind that.
Yeah, so I've always really liked Resto Shaman in World of Warcraft. I thought they had a really cool aesthetic. The male gear, I love playing like a Draenei, huge jack dude. And having the having the shield and weapon like is so cool to me. Like Holy Paladins have it too, but I don't really like that aesthetic. I like the whole dealing with the elements of Resto Shaman. Throughout Dragonflight, I played Preservation Evoker kind of just like casually, and I always had a lot of fun of it. But like, kind of going back to the goal thing, like I had always been like, Resto Shaman is going to be my main this expansion, and so I feel like that's what kept me on Resto Shaman longer than I probably should have, or could have been. Because every time I played Preservation Evoker, I really liked it. I liked that you were super mobile. I've learned that it's not really that way, but Preservation Evoker kind of gave me an excuse to not be positioned correctly, because you're like, I always have to be in, and it is a little bit true, but you can still position a little bit more defensively. But it took off the pressure of like not being positioned correctly, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
The Resto Shaman, like the big thing is also like interrupting basically on cooldown. Preservation is a lot longer. I was bad at wind shearing as often as I should, so losing that aspect of it was kind of bad too. And then just the damage, like dude, Preservation Evoker, you can do so much damage. It's a really fun offensive healer. So yeah, the truth is I just enjoyed Preservation more. And then also it was really, really good when I started playing it back in season 4 of Dragonflight. And then I came into this expansion and I was like, I'm going to be Resto Shaman main again. But then Resto Shaman just kind of ended up being the worst healer the entire start of the season.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to be a meta chaser. And I think if I was truly a meta chaser, I would have hopped on the Holy Paladin or Disc Priest, because they were definitely the two dominant healing specs in season 1 of the War Within. But I feel pretty good that I stuck with Preservation Evoker, really got down and got close to mastering it. I don't want to say master it, because there's people who are out there and I'm definitely way better, but I feel like I got a lot of the interactions down between other classes and stuff like that. And just Preservation's fun. I don't want to give up on Shaman. I've heard Shaman's really good in PvP right now as of this launch. Like I think CD was calling it the best healer alongside Mistweaver and I think maybe he said Disc. So that had me really excited, because I basically what I want to be is a Preservation Restoration Shaman, and I'll just probably play whatever's best in the season, or if I have a specific comp I want to play, I'll play what's best. So not completely giving up on Resto Shaman, but Preservation Evoker is way more fun, where Elemental Shaman or Restoration Shaman has like a really cool toolkit. I like the aesthetic, and I like the healing with it too, as long as it's not just dog shit.
Yeah. So I guess when you compare the two, do you think you miss Resto Shaman at all, or have you sort of embraced your new identity as like a Preservation Evoker main now?
There's definitely things I miss about Resto Shaman. Like one of my favorite things to do on Resto Shaman was staticking, like getting really good statics, pulling people out behind pillars, or putting them somewhere and stunning a group of people for like huge cleave for my team. I like both of them. I don't. I wouldn't say I miss Resto. I do miss playing Resto Shaman, but I don't miss it in a way like I wish I was playing Resto Shaman instead of Provoker. I just have fun on Provoker when I play it. I have fun on Resto Shaman when I play it. What would you say like the biggest differences between Discipline Priest and Resto Shaman are?
I think
you kind of
yeah. I mean, a little bit earlier, it's just more so that like Discipline Priest is very proactive in a PvE sense. Same with PvP. And whereas Resto Shaman's a little bit different between the two. And I don't know, man. Like speaking of which, I do miss my Resto Shaman as well. I mained it for 5 years, and that's what I got most of like my YouTube channel and content creation going off on, was like the sense that I am this Resto Shaman main. And now that I'm playing Discipline Priest now, it feels a little weird.
Yeah.
But I think I like what you said earlier, where I do want to be able to play both. And I still do intend on gearing my Resto Shaman in Season 2 for the case that it does become meta, although I don't know how that's going to turn out. Resto Shaman, it's not been exceptionally terrible, but it's not been over the top busted for more than like a month or two at a time.
Yeah.
Where it feels like Resto Shaman, anytime it gets up there, Blizzard says fun detected and nerfs us into the ground. whereas priest is a more it's a more evergreen class.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I know that you were planning on maybe coming back to some PvP in season 2 of or the War Within. Shadowlands was 2 expansions ago.
I did, yeah.
You want to talk about on that and maybe like what you're looking to achieve in PvP if you do make a return?
Yeah, so peer pressure is a thing, kids. No. No, let's just say I had a really good meetup with some online friends very recently at Disney Springs. I don't know if you know a guy. His name is Erratic Gaming. I think that's his name. Yeah.
Yep.
So I had a really good meetup with him and a good buddy of mine, Nanner, who's also a good buddy of yours as well. And then you guys had a mutual friend, Santi, who I had met for the first time at Disney Springs. And listening to the three of you talk about PvP, specifically Arena, I want to say I've kind of burned out on BG Blitz. That ship has sort of sailed. But when it comes to Arena, the way you guys were talking about it reminded me of just how much fun I had doing rated 3s in voice. And even though I've been upset with the game in the past, be it, MMR systems, be it the implementation of solo shuffle, be it balancing, whatever, the most fun I've had with this game has been when I've been in a voice chat with 2 other guys and we've been doing our best to win 3v3 games, or if we're on like a hot streak and it's just we're locked in, we're coordinating our crowd control so well together. And I miss that aspect of PvP. So I definitely will return to doing arena of some sort in season 2. Maybe not pushing for gladiator right off the rip, maybe get my PvE goals out of the way first. I think that might be the best way of going about it. But definitely coming back to the arena scene and having some more fun there. But question for you, because I know you were talking about at that infamous meetup, you were thinking about trying to get 3K in Mythic Plus, especially now that there's a new achievement and mount attached to it. What's driving you to push for that?
Yeah, so first I want to say like I'm excited that you're returning to PvP. I know people and probably my group of friends and stuff like that are glad to hear that too, because we could always use more healers. Yes, so it's funny because my mind has kind of changed on that today. I 100% plan on doing a 2K push, but I learned today that the 3K is just a recolor of the 2K mount. I've been kind of used to where the last couple expansions, the mount each season is just a like different form of the same skeleton. Like all throughout Shadowlands, it was a shadowy vortexes, and then last expansion it was the dinosaur, just different forms. I thought that was happening in the War Within 2, so I figured we were getting some sort of mech suit mount for season 2 for 2K, and that the 3K mount was a brand new its own model. And then I was looking on Wowhead today and just saw that it was a recolor. So I'm not to say that I for sure won't push 3K, but I would say like one of my biggest motivations in World of Warcraft is 100% cosmetics. And when it comes to mounts and stuff like that, really all I want is the model, unless there's just an insane coloration that makes it way worth it. And for me, the 3K coloration probably isn't enough to make me push. I will say what would make me push is if I just really enjoy what I'm playing in Mythic Plus. And I don't think we've talked about this yet, but I really enjoy playing Preservation Evoker in PvP, but I'm not against healing in PvE, but I kind of want to like learn more of the Evoker class and feel like maybe not a master, but like I feel like I know the class, not just the spec. So I'm planning on playing. And well, the other reason is I'm also raiding with a group of people, and I may not be able to make every raid, so I don't want to fill one of the critical spots of like a tank or a healer. So I'm going to be playing Devastation Evoker in PvE. Okay. Yeah, that's my plan for the season. So if I'm having just tons of fun and dev cranks and I see my name at the top of the damage meters, then maybe I'll push higher in Mythic Plus. But I can't really see myself going through, probably hundreds of hours to get 3K rating. But we'll see how it pans out.
That's a fair take. So you are getting another bat right? You're getting the recolor bat.
That's a great question too, because like Gladiator was a lot of fun. I think it will be easier to do the second time around, but at the same time, it'll be harder because it'll be the second season of an expansion, and historically each season has less and less participation, meaning you have to be, in a higher percentage of the ladder to get those rewards. So if it doesn't seem like I have to just annihilate my personal life to get it, I will definitely try to get it again. There's several people I met this season, who would all make it easier for me probably if I'm able to queue with them. But I would also like to be able to play with some of my old partners and maybe see if we can reach new heights. I'm not dying to get it though, because again, my main motivation is cosmetics. I already have the model. The new coloration is not special at all. In fact, I would say it's probably worse than the first season. So I got to say the motivation there for me to like push myself really, really hard to get it again. I don't know. I say that, but I'm going to get to the end of the season and be like, oh man, it'd be so cool to say multi-gladiator. But we'll see. We'll see.
Correction, you technically you are a multi-glad now.
Yeah, if I say I'm a multi-glad, people are going to be like, bullshit. Let me check PvP. Where's the multi-glad at? But yeah, no. I did get 2 bats, so that's pretty cool.
That's not only crazy that you were able to finally achieve Gladiator after 4 years in like I would say it was a pretty difficult season if you compare it to say like Shadowlands Season 2, right?
Yeah.
But you did it twice on 2 separate characters.
Yeah.
While you were like just helping people get their glad, you're like, here's my second glad. Nice little flex there.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's one of I was just gonna say it's one of those things where it's like it's just a skill. It's just like a skill level. Once you get there, like all I had to do was stay at 2400 and get more wins. So it's like it's kind of crazy, but it's like if you could do it once, you could do it twice. It's just sending enough games, right?
That's fair. It's very it's a good message of hope that maybe somebody will take away from this. So I guess how do you plan to prepare for season 2? I know we're at the time of recording this in this sort of dead week where 11.1 just dropped, but the new season's not quite out yet, so people can't really get the gear that they need to do. Is there anything you're doing to prepare? Maybe offline, maybe getting your connections together, or I don't know. What are your sort of plans to prep for season 2?
Yeah, so it's really weird because like I don't want to push PvP super hard at the start. I do want to focus on the Mythic Plus and raiding. So really right now I'm just trying to learn dev in a PvE setting because I have been playing it in PvP a little bit, and I think it's going to play a little bit differently. I'm going to be doing like delves every week probably because I know that's at least a good source of starting gear to work your way up from, and then really probably just like looking around trying to find people who want to play some Mythic Plus. Maybe hit up my boy Moon, see if he'll run some keys with me. Maybe play some alts. I'll probably hit some arenas this week, hit some solo shuffles. And honestly, my physical health, like I think that's one of the things like not really talked about, but I feel like physical health is so important to like getting better at the game. Your mental is affected a lot by your physical health. So making sure you're not just eating shit and not just I don't know what the word is I'm looking for, but rotting on in your chair, trying to get up, get your heart beating, that kind of stuff. It actually helps so much more with gaming than people probably give it credit to. So I'd like to start focusing on my health a little bit more because there's a lot of late nights during the Glad push, a lot of early mornings where I would wake up and be like, I need to push some shuffle to keep my shit tight. That I skipped gyms or I didn't get enough sleep, and I think a lot of that was not a great idea. So taking care of my physical health and just practicing. What about you? How are you getting prepared for the next season?
Just making connections. It's so weird. I recently reconnected with a guild that I played with in Shadowlands season 1, and I was sort of there like one person reached out to me and I rejoined the server and I joined a voice chat one day, and then I was almost blindsided in a way. Like all these people joined back from my past, and at first I was like, oh man, like I was 19 then. I was cringing at some of the things I wish I would have said differently, But yeah, just like reestablishing old connections, making new connections, really using this time to learn Discipline Priest a little bit better, to where when it is time to go for Mythic Plus, I know what I'm doing. I know where the damage parts are. I know how to prepare in that sense. And I found out that unfortunately, Oracle happens to be the best Discipline Priest hero talent for Raid. Um, I just want you to do a quick little guess how many global cooldowns you think I need to ramp my healing just to get my healing out.
Oh, I have no idea. 4 or
Just
5.
4 or 5? I wish. Try 18.
Oh my
I need to
lord.
cast 18 spells before I'm allowed to. But you know what? This is what I took on. This is my new life. I made my bed. It is time to
That's
sleep in it.
insane. Yeah.
But yeah, just getting that memorized and ready to go for the raid. Dude, I'm so hyped for this raid.
What are you most excited for in season 2?
Well, okay, outside of content, I'm the most excited to make new friends. That I've noticed like every single season, like there are some people that come, there are some people that go, there are some bridges that get burned. Some people think I'm like the most evil, worst person on the planet, but in that process, I make a lot of more friends in this game and new connections, just being able to share this game that I love with people and just enjoy playing the game with. I think that social aspect of WoW is something that is not talked about nearly enough because if you get like good teammates in Arena or like good teammates in Mythic Plus, you are more often than not playing with those people more than you're spending time with like your real family. And those connections can run deep. You know, you can make real life friends that you meet up at Disney Springs at an Irish restaurant and or yeah, a little
Yeah.
side there. Or like go on a cruise with people that you
Yeah.
meet on the game. And that part of World of Warcraft is always very cool. So, you know, new content aside, I'm very hyped to meet new people this season and have a good time playing WoW. How about yourself?
For sure. I think that was like such a good answer, and it's not even something I had thought about. But yeah, I've made so many new friends from just trying to push Glad that it is a really cool part of WoW. My answer to this is actually probably pretty sad. I'm not super stoked about the raid, but I'm hoping that once I get into the raid and I start progging it, I will think it's really, really cool. I'm not really excited about pushing keys, but it's again like the game is the most fun when you're playing with people. But I should not be negative. The thing I'm most excited about is just getting PvP balancing. Like you don't get new PvP balancing except for these big patches. Like
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you'll get one like maybe at a 0.5 patch, but like I'm really excited about all the changes that were made to the different classes, different specs. I'm excited to hopefully have a new meta because God, I'm so fucking tired of ass affliction. It's probably still going to be good, but it's looking like a lot of the melee cleaves that have been good in the past will be good again. It's looking like Resto Shaman will be good. It's just really exciting to have a new meta in PvP because it gets really stale when you're playing with the same exact balancing for 3 months and it's been the top 3 specs that you're facing every game. It gets tiring. So yeah, definitely the new meta that will hopefully emerge.
Just be careful of what you ask for. Be careful of what you wish for, my friend, because the last thing you want is a Resto Druid spell cleave meta, where it's like MLD and you're sitting in crowd control for like 18 of every 30 seconds. That's like that would yeah. I don't even want to think about it. I'm not going to wish that into existence. And you know what? I'm going to go to church this Sunday just kind of make sure that doesn't happen. But anyways, speaking of funny, goofy things in general, what do you think was the funniest thing that had happened to you in all of season 1?
Funniest thing to happen to me in all of season 1. Dude, I don't even have a good answer to that. I mean, like I've had funny conversations and stuff like that along the way, but I can't even pull anything from my head. I probably should have thought about that a little bit more. I can't. I mean, I don't know. I may come back to it, but how would you answer that question?
I was talking to a friend in game in Dornegal, and we were just. I think I tried to like make a failed guild at the time, and I was on Moonguard. I probably should have prefaced that. Like this all took place on Moonguard, and there was a Worgen Death Knight who ran up to me in the wild shape form, or the not the wild shape, the wild charge form. You know when they get on all fours.
Yeah.
A Worgen Death Knight player ran up to me, sniffed me, like in game, traded me like a steamy romance novel, and then walked off. It was funny. I'd also never been more uncomfortable in my entire life playing this game.
I
But that's
will
just
say, like, funny stuff happens way more in PvE, I feel like, because, like, in PvP, like, there might be, like, funny and, like, what the hell just happened? I just got one shot out of nowhere, but, like, nothing that, like, I could point my finger to. I like, the funniest times I've had have probably been in Raid, but it's been so long since I raided, because I basically got AOTC and then completely stopped, that I can't pull anything out.
I will say there was also a Dawnbreaker dungeon I was running within this past week where the tank got a nosebleed in the middle of a boss fight and ran away for like 5 seconds to go grab a tissue and then was proceeding to like handle his nosebleed while one arm tanking. So yeah, the players in this game are pretty hardcore. But do you have like an epic memory from the season? Then if we can't talk about funny, do you have like any particular standout moment where you're like, oh yeah, this is just epic?
Yeah, I mean, so getting that 50th win for Gladiator was really epic. Getting an additional 50 wins, like my first 50 wins were with a bunch of different comps, and like my last, 5 wins or whatever were with Levelidin and I think Rin. But getting like 50 wins with just Santi and Levelidin was really freaking cool too. Getting up to like, I think we got up to 2,700 MMR was something I would not have expected in my first season. Levelidin's obviously insane. I've been doing my best to not read chat, but Reflexes bring something up as a funny, but I think this is also an epic memory. My last game of the season, like I said, I've been playing some Dev and Arenas, Devastation Evoker.
Yeah.
And so my last game of the season, I ran Devastation myself. Reflex ran Devastation. That's his main. No. And then Nana ran Preservation Evoker. And our last game, we just annihilated this team like 5 seconds within getting in combat. And it was funny. It was epic. We just annihilated people. And I think one of the dudes like whispered Nana afterwards, like that was some interesting tech or something like that. So that was pretty cool. How about you? You have any super epic moments?
I would probably say speaking of your 50th win and everything, I would say my last dungeon that I completed to get me to 3K. So the setup for this was I do have a sort of I guess I'll say, yeah, I have a Mythic Plus team together now, where it just kind of formed in the last week of the season. But I had been pugging because some of my teammates had been busy. Like our tank is writing his thesis for his master's degree right now in like engineering or whatever, so he's not necessarily available all the time. And I had been pugging. I was so burned out. I was tilted out of my mind. I had been screaming at the game, and I was at 2990. I had logged off from so many failed stone vaults in the game. The I don't know what John Blizzard put sleeper agents in my keys to intentionally throw them, or something was going on, but I was not having it. And I took a short break. I needed to like cool off and played Marvel Rivals for a little bit. And I was thinking to myself, you are so close to your goal. Again, all of your friends have pushed through that sort of valley of despair to really get through and accomplish the goals that they set out to do. What are you doing with yourself thinking that you're going to give up at the last second? And when I got that realization, I'm like, yeah, I gotta log on WoW like right now. And one of my teammates whispered me, hey, we got a Necrotic Wake 13 key. It's one of the dungeons I need. Do you want to run it? I'm like, yeah, sure. And my younger brother who's playing Rhett, he's like, yeah, so we're gonna go to the Necrotic key. Now, I like my younger brother. Don't get me wrong. He's a very swell fella, but he's still newer to higher keys, and I was a little bit concerned about bringing him because he's just inexperienced with higher keys. And also, that whole thing, like, I don't know if you have siblings yourself,
Yeah.
or have, yeah. So, it's like, oh man, I don't want my little brother to come and cramp my style, but it's like, I knew he knew how to at least survive. When I thought to all the keys that I did play with him, he never died to stupid things. And even though Rhett was his off spec, He's a tank main normally. I was like, you know what? Why not bring him? Let's just see how it goes. It's just so happened that our tank player was able to take a break from his thesis and come run the key with us. And the four of us went into the necrotic wake and we just blasted it. So after so many failed keys, we were finally able to get it. We had 2 deaths for the whole dungeon. Both were me. Not that I'm inting necessarily. It's just like in Mythic Plus, when you run out of stops and multiple mobs target the same person, they just kind of get deleted off the face of the earth. That's just kind of how high keys work. But aside from that, it was a very solid key. Ended up getting the 3K. I said a lot of things that I probably cannot say on stream or this video about how I was not a fan of the game at the time, and it was a great time, man.
That's so cool. You hadn't shared that story yet. I actually got chills when you said you got 3K and you were, playing with your brother who you were worried about playing with. Like, and I'm not worried, but like, dude, that's so cool. Like to just go in there and smash out the key. That's just how it happens a lot of the time, man.
So I guess now that we've both achieved our goals and we've both respectively in PvP and PvE, let's get to the part of the podcast that's going to piss people off and make people not like us. And that is comparing PvP and PvE. This is a long debated topic in the WoW community, very passionate. You go on WoW Twitter and you start up this conversation. Hey guys, what's harder, PvP or PvE? You're going to get a lot of slurs thrown at you. So I guess the biggest thing, let's go ahead and compare and contrast at least, as opposed to saying which is harder right off the bat. What are the biggest differences between PvP and PvE in gameplay, strategy, or community?
Man, that's a big question. I almost feel like I don't want to talk on it too much just because I haven't seen like super high level of PvE. I think AOTC would be my highest PvE achievement. Keystone Master is something I've gotten I think every season since like 4 of Shadowlands or something like that. So I have that, but I know that's kind of like a joke for most people too. I shouldn't say that because I'm sure there's people out there who are trying and maybe struggling. But like the biggest difference in PvP and PvE is just the reactiveness. I would say, like, I feel like PvP is like you're having to react to the game, and it feels like PvE is you're learning the game and just kind of mastering more of a script. And I think there's people who say PvP is that way too, but it's you still have a player on the other side who isn't going to act the exact same every time. And there's situations where you're having to actively react to it. So that would be the difference in gameplay and strategy. As far as community, that's interesting because like when I've done AOTC, I usually just find a group of people I like raiding with. You just get into Discord, have a good time, hopefully while you're raiding, and just have a good time. I haven't. Usually when I do Mythic Plus, I'm trying to fill one of the needed slots. Like, I don't really care what I play in Keystones. I've done it as DPS, healer, and tank. Usually I look at what's most needed for the season, and I just pick one of my specs to play. So, like, I usually get instant invites. People have told me, like, you need to learn the key before you come in here. And I don't usually do that. But yeah, I would say that in PvP, it's so weird too, because like I feel like LFG is so bad in PvP and I just haven't had to use it in a very long time. I feel like, and maybe that's part of the question, is like I feel like it's so much better to build a group of people that you enjoy playing with and meet new people through that group of people rather than using LFG. I think a lot of people are meeting people in solo shuffle. So like when you are getting really good at solo shuffle, hitting up other players in your lobbies and saying like, hey, you want to run some threes sometime? I think that's a way a lot of people are meeting people. Like Check PvP has LFG tools. I think the PvP community is filled with a lot of really cool people who are chill, and it's also filled with toxic people with egos, and I'm just hoping that I don't ever become that type of PvPer. But I like, with you having more experience on the Mythic Plus side and even rating, I'd like to hear your answer kind of to that same question. What would you say is the difference between PvE and PvP as far as gameplay, strategy, and community?
Yeah. Sure thing. So the main difference between PvP and PvE is the barrier to entry. PvP is much harder to get into initially, but I think that if we're comparing, let's say Mythic Plus to PvP, or I'd say yeah, Mythic Plus and Arena, like if we're really drilling down, because I think rating's its own thing, but you essentially have in PvE infinitely scaling content that it just gets infinitely harder. It's uncapped. So there will be at some point, even you could go as high as you can go, there will eventually be a wall that is by the game that will stop you from progressing further. Whereas with PvP, that variable changes. I don't want to necessarily factor rating into it, but it's more so you are competing against the skill levels of other players. And so uh PvE is a lot easier to get into because the skill threshold that's required to do something like a +2 or even just like a mythic 0 to begin with is drastically lower. You're not going to get as punished severely for not pressing your defensives. I mean, even when I was running +12s this season, there were several enhancement shaman players who did not know what curse dispel was. If I was in an arena match at 1600 and I didn't curse dispel a hex off of somebody, I would be getting called the worst names on the internet. So that that barrier to entry is a little bit higher. I will say if we do include rating into the mix, rating has a social politics aspect that is significantly greater than that of what you would need to build for Mythic Plus or Arena when it comes to building a team composition, because in Mythic rating, you need 20 people. And ideally, you're going to have every single raid buff, so you have to factor in for that. You're going to have 4 to 5 healers, depending on the fight. You're going to have anywhere between 1 and 3 tank players, depending on the fight. Um, Even though most of the time it's like 2, 4, 14, I think is the comp for a Mythic raid. And there's a lot of social politics involved. You get 20 people, not everybody's going to think the same, look the same, act the same. So you got to get along with people that you don't quite agree with or even can't really stand to accomplish that common goal. And I think that factor is less of a case in something, say, like Arena. I personally don't like the social politics aspect, which is why I dropped out of the Mythic raid scene. But that is something that I would say factors in community wise in that regard. Um, Phew. I think that's about it for my thoughts thus far
Yeah,
as to like comparing and contrasting.
I guess kind of you bringing that up. I will say, like, especially once you get around the 2400 range, like I feel like I played with every person who sits at that rating. It does feel like there's like communities of people like that in PvP too. I don't know that it's as exclusionary because I think most people just want to queue. But yeah, I kind of didn't even really talk about that, and I think there is some of that in PvP too. But I think you're probably right. Like a 20-man group where you need exact players is probably one of the most difficult social constructs in the game.
Yeah, because I mean, you also like think of it this way: 20 people. You need 20 people to even raid.
Yeah.
So what happens when somebody's absent? Well, you pull from a bench of players, and sometimes people don't want to be on the bench. So you have a bench of like 5 players that aren't in the raid that are essentially on standby. And then don't even get me started on loot drama. Well, now, granted, I know that when you say compositional needs, that stuff does apply to Arena too, because like let's say RMP, like that's a comp where you need to build a arena composition that the crowd control types are different enough to where you can have a really effective crowd control chain, or the damage profile is good to where you can coordinate bursts together, or you have enough utility that all covers each other's weaknesses. So like Ret War is very good with utility. Um, so there is that sort of compositional needs too, where it's like not only do you need to jive well with the people that you're playing with in arena, but you also need to have a team that's also viable based off of class synergy. Whereas I would say in Mythic Plus, that would be a little bit more flexible just because you have like 3 DPS spots. So I guess meta dependency too can be a factor that maybe we didn't touch much on. Now, this is I want to get to the juicy part. How does the satisfaction of a PvP milestone like Gladiator compare to one that's more PvE oriented? I guess I'll start off by saying, first and foremost, significantly less people have Gladiator than people that have 3K and Mythic Plus. Um, there's a statistic. I don't know how relevant it still is because I think it was taken at the beginning of or either end of Dragonflight or beginning of the War Within. The amount of people who actively play PvP seriously is about 7% of the player base. That means 93% of the other player base is doing some form of PvE content. Maybe not Mythic Plus, maybe they're just the collector type. I mean, we haven't
Yeah.
even touched on the people who do like battle pets and transmog farming. But like only 7% of people play PvP seriously. And then of those people, you have to be exceptional to even get 2400, to even get Gladiator. And that in itself, because you're playing against a smaller population, you have to do that much more work to stand out. Am I kind of on the mark with that? Or how do you feel about that?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's very just like the stats speak for itself. Like WoW is a PvE game. PvP is such a small subset, and then yeah, to get to get that gladiator mount, you have to be, you know, a percentage of a percentage. It's definitely, you know, crazy. And then like the skill difference between someone who can just, you know, hit gladiator for the first time, me, and these rank 1 players is just insane. And then there's a whole skill level between rank 1 players and people who win AWC. Like there's probably that exact same thing, you know, for people for the high level key scene. I would be interested because like you said something about like there's a lot less people with a gladiator than 3K, you know, Mythic Plus key eye level, whatever it's called, IO. But I do wonder what the percentages are, like, you know, people who engage in keystones and who has 3K versus how many people engage in PvP and have, you know, Gladiator or 2400. Because I still would probably think that that the Gladiator's more rare than 3K, but I bet the numbers aren't as crazy as it makes it look. Because, like, you know, say there's 10,000, you know, people with 3K level, eye level. I'm probably butchering the terminology, and there's only, you know, 1,500. Yeah, there's only 1,500 gladiators or whatever. Those percentages might actually be a lot closer, and the only reason it looks like PvE is easier is because there's more people engaging in it. Do you know?
I get what you're saying. So at least when it comes to the PvE scene, Mythic Plus scene, 3K is about somewhere between top 2 to top 1% of the player base right now. And then the title, rank 1 title, the 0.1% is about like 34, 50. I think I haven't checked Greater IO before doing the podcast. Whoops. So feel free to fact check me. But where's I going with this? So I think if we're comparing just 3K to Gladiator, my perspective may be a little bit biased because I have that PvP background experience. I think 3K is a more reachable goal. For somebody who is newer to World of Warcraft in general, I actually have one of my teammates now who this was his first season as well, taking Mythic Plus seriously, and he went from somebody who was just not that great at the game to obtaining his 3K first out of all of us through improving and working his way up. Whereas if you're somebody and you are brand new to PvP and you're trying really hard to push, it is very unlikely that your first season pushing you're going to hit Gladiator. That's why you know, I always recommend if it's your first time doing PvP ever, it's a huge barrier to entry. I would shoot for something like 1800 because at least you can walk away from the season with the elite set, which is what a lot of people really chase after in the first place when they play PvP. But at the same time, if you do only do PvE content and you're watching this on 2 PvP channels, I would highly advise just some point during season 2 taking maybe 1 month to learn PvP. You will just learning the fundamentals in PvP will make you drastically better at Mythic Plus, at raiding, just in PvE content in general, because you get to use every part of your class. You get all the fundamentals, and that transfers over so well.
Yeah, I like to be careful about, you know, not talking about what I don't know. So that's why I don't like to like shit on 3K or anything like that. But I am confident that if I put my mind to it for one season I could hit 3K at least. So I
Yeah.
guess when you put it that way, like, yeah, it's I'm definitely, not even close to thinking that I could get rank 1 in Mythic Plus, but I do think 3K would be achievable if I put the same amount of effort into 3K
Yeah.
that I did for Gladiator.
You would probably be able to get it with a lot less resistance than you would with Gladiator. I will say that for certain.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, sorry.
I guess this is the segment where if you're watching this on YouTube when it's posted, if you have any questions for us that we've maybe not addressed in the duration of this episode, just feel free to let us know in the comments below. Either myself or Radic will get back to you as soon as possible. And now that we've got that out of the way with our season 1, let's talk about the season 2 updates and speculation that we may have. So, are there any announced changes for season 2 that excite or worry you?
Yeah, so it's kind of like the same thing. As far as stuff that excites me, Preservation of Ochre's rescue now breaks roots, which is huge. So if my target's rooted or I'm rooted, I can hit rescue on them and still save them. It's been like Preservation of Ochre. Everyone loves to complain about Nullifying Shroud, but they are one of the most susceptible healers, most susceptible healers to CC, because they are constantly in a 25-yard range of their targets. So that rescue is going to be huge. They're getting a their heals are no longer going to snapshot the mastery. It's probably too much to explain on this, but I'm excited about that change. There was one more change I was excited about in regards to Preservation of Ochres. One thing I'm not excited about, though, is the CC changes. They're making CCs like Polymorph and Freezing Trap, and I think several others have a low damage threshold before they break instead of instantly breaking on damage. I know there's a lot of people who were upset about this because their spells like automatically AoE due to talents that they have to take, and so it's frustrating to have their CC break for those reasons. But one of the ways I could outplay other teams as a Preservation Evoker is making sure I was standing to where the CC would break if they, CC'd me and they were damaging their target, like especially with mages, like Feral, Mage, whatever. I could outplay the team by playing on top of my targets instead of trying to like maybe stay LOS and stuff like that. And so it's really frustrating to kind of like lose the ability for that. So it's, yeah.
I wonder then if that change in itself will see a massive rise again in setup comps like RMP, like Cupid, that sort of stuff. And I also wonder when it comes to the strength of Priest in general, if that means I will be unable to like death things like Blind or Freezing Trap or Polymorph. Like if my death damage won't be enough.
That's a great
to
question.
break
Yeah,
that anymore.
It's got to break it. I would think like that's such a skill expression. To get rid of that would be insane to me.
I would hope so. And also it's a great thing that they decided to completely remove one of my cooldowns entirely. Rapture's now out of the game. So yeah, I'll have to see how the changes adapt. I'm still a little bit newer to Priest. I'm not like an automatic Jack or any like Priest expert, but yeah, I'll have to see if there's any new builds that arise as a result of that.
What is there anything that you're excited for in season 2 or stuff that you're worried about?
Things that I'm excited for. I mean, the new seasons seeming exciting. Like I like the Undermine theme in general. I like the prospect of a fresh start that at the beginning of a season when everybody comes back to the game. That's fun time where I get to, enjoy dungeons or battlegrounds with friends or like arenas with friends. I'm very worried about the class changes in general, especially disc priest wise. And then now that I didn't even know that the CC changes were a thing until you told me about it just now. So I'm kind of reacting to it live where I'm like, oh man, our setup comp's going to be back.
Chat,
and then
chat is letting me know that death is hard coded to break the CC, so that you at least got that going for you.
Thank you, chat. So I mean, yeah, I mean, if that's the case with the CC changes, I may need to find a rogue and a mage to play with, Um, you know, if any rogue or mage players out there need a priest, I mean, I might be available. That's all I'm saying. But
I just there's diamond ice for hunters. Like it makes it obsolete. Like if you don't have to play it because now your traps don't immediately break. I'm not crazy about the changes.
That's fair. But I think that's all we actually had to talk about for the time being, unless chat has anything that we may have not touched on. I haven't looked at chat the entirety of the duration.
Is there any like so what are your goals for season 2? Like just overall PvP, PvE?
Probably 3K, probably duelist, I think is just like a short-term goal for Arena. I don't want to I know the last time we recorded one of these episodes was it's February now, so 8 months ago, a little bit more than 8 months ago, and boy was I humbled, and I have had my opinion change of the game very quickly in that duration of time. So I will now set more realistic goals to achieve, and then when I hit those, I can push my limits a little bit further. Gladiator would be cool if I meet the right connections or if I play with some really cool people and I'm able to get good at either priest or resto shaman. Um, that's always been something that I've been chasing after as well. But I'm at the same time not going to get to the point where I sacrifice my health again for the sake of World of Warcraft. Now that I've been going to the gym and taking care of myself in that regard,
Proud of you,
I've
bro.
lost quite. Yeah, thanks, man. I've lost quite a bit of weight since the last time we spoke. Um, I have a much more healthy approach to the game than I did before. How about yourself? You going for Glad again? You going for maybe erratic rank 1, maybe erratic 2700, maybe or
Yeah, so we talked about like whether I want to push for Glad, and I said no, but then like thinking on it, like we got up to 2700 MMR. I'm like, dude, it'd be really cool to push for 2700 and threes. And I think shuffle rank 1 is like out of my reach, but like at the same time, it probably not if I actually put a lot of effort into it. I don't want to say they're goals because I'm not ready to make them my goals. Like just because I've kind of said like I kind of go crazy once I set a goal. I would like to stay in the top 50 preservation evokers all season in shuffle. So that's kind of a weird goal. I think if I can play with like specific people and I can push 2700, I think that'd be really cool. As far as PvE, I'd like to get AOTC. I'd like to get my 2K in Mythic Plus. And really just I'd like to have fun playing the game. You know, I don't want to like sit here and not play or not enjoy my time playing. So I'd like to reel it back a little bit if I'm playing and it just feels like a job, because it has felt like that occasionally. And I always hate myself when I'm playing and I'm like, just because I'm like so dialed in that I can't get off the fucking game.
Yup. And then doing content creation on top of all of it, it really is a time sink.
We never talked about that, but like as far as like stuff I had to like, I meant to mention that during the struggles part. Like one of the biggest struggles is like I've dialed back so far on content creation. I was putting out a TikTok every day, and like I was spending so much time queuing that I couldn't do that. Yeah. So we have one question from chat. So, what was your favorite comp to play, not based on results in season 1? I really liked playing Devastation Hunter. Like that was such a fun comp. It felt like it was just so much damage, and it was easy to get CCs off. it felt kind of cheesy, but I had a lot of fun with that. Yeah. What, like, did you have a favorite Mythic Plus comp?
Favorite Mythic Plus comp was anything involving enhancement shamans made the game way easier. When I was playing both my Aug Evoker and my Discipline Priest. Aug Evokers made the game easier. Death Knights made the game easier. I liked I liked playing with the rep paladins that I know. You may not know this, but rep paladins have an awful reputation in PvE for just like
I see it on Twitter all the
being
time. People
okay.
fucking hate red
Yeah,
paladins.
LFG rep paladins are like the worst people to ever exist. And I say this very jokingly. Not. Yeah. If um, yeah, and then there's some certain servers that I avoid taking to my keys, but I'm not gonna say the rest of that out loud because I'm not trying to speedrun getting canceled just yet. Um, but yeah, no, I'd say probably Death Knight, Shaman, and Evoker were really fun to play with
Very
in Mythic
nice.
Plus.
Yeah, I kind of thought about playing Og Evoker, but like everyone's saying it's dead now, so I don't know.
Yeah, thank goodness, it's about time.
Yeah. All right, well,
Awesome.
that's all I have. Do you have anything else?
Nope, that'll do it. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Hope you appreciate this discussion we had here. If you'd like to see more of this type of stuff, or if you have any topic suggestions and want to see Radic and I talk about it again, just let us know down in the comments below. And with that, my name is Moon. This is Erratic, and we will see you guys in the next one.
See you guys.
Peace.
Thanks for joining.
Smiling at the camera while the recording stops.
All right, we're gone.
Awesome.
I will upload that and send it to you. I'll see if I can upload it right now.
Yeah, and then I will download it and get it edited tonight and maybe tomorrow. It's an hour and 12 minutes, so it's not too bad.
Yep.
And
thanks for joining me, man. That was a lot of fun.
Of course. I
It
will
was a good
let you
time.
get on with the rest of your stream. I'll hit the little hang up call and I will see you in chat. Thank you for having this chat with me, dude. It's always so fun when we get to have these.
For sure, dude. Talk to you later, man. Peace.
Yes, leave stream. And then I'm setting up the Discord call. Goodbye.
All right. Thank you all for joining in and being part of that discussion. Moon is going to get that uploaded on YouTube, so make sure you're following him on YouTube if you missed out on part of the discussion, or you just want to support these type of videos. He'll do a good job editing. I know he will, and yeah, I mean we have fun doing them. So if we could get some support on the content, we keep putting them out. It'd be a lot of fun. I'm gonna start the upload here really quick. Give me just 1 minute here, guys. We have 15 gigs to use. Calvin Days has been playing Dev MM. It looks really good, so you might be able to get your wish. Yeah, no. So Nanner's been working on Marksman, and Reflex is obviously a Dev main. So we'll probably play. We might play some tonight if both of them are on. I think that'd be really cool. I need to upload this bad boy. Uploading one item. And then so I don't know what I'm gonna do tonight. I'm gonna go to the restroom while this uploads really quick. I will be right back, and then we'll get on with the stream. All right, and then let me see, is this still all going? I've got so many different screens up so I could handle all this. Dude, my internet is fast as fuck. I've already uploaded that I've already uploaded the video. Share. Link. Copy. Here is the full video. Gig internet for the win. All right. Delete the call as well. I still have the thing pulled up. Okay, I do. Sweet. Man, I gotta get Legend of the Season. I could have gotten it. I just had gotten sick for the last month. Dude, yeah, that was super unfortunate, man. That was super unfortunate. Dude, I really liked having this stuff in the background. That was kind of cool. I gotta turn back on my my sound here. Feels weird talking in silence. Okay, I'm gonna go run to the restroom. I'll be right back. Dynamic background was good. Thanks, dude. Yeah, you need to get Legend this season too. I'm really hoping they don't reset MMR. We'll see though. We will see though. Okay. I kind of want to do my quests. At least get a couple of them done. Everyone who came in from Instigator, I really appreciate you coming in. I don't know if you're still here, but I'm sorry I didn't acknowledge you when you came in. We were just making that for a video as well, so I didn't really want to screw up the pacing. Same thing with chats. I wasn't ignoring you. I just wanted to, you know. I wanted to put out the best video.
Something gotta be done about the dark views. Build's water can't go on like this.
I want to play some Resto Shaman tonight too, actually.
It'll only make things worse.
I've heard Resto Shaman's really good.
To get worse to get better.
Preservation Evoker was like the only healer not to get like buffs.
Need some help?
I mean, Rescue was kind of a buff, but... Oh, it's a cinematic. That's a really good cinematic.
Stay sharp.
Laszlo, how could Galliwix do this?
The music is kind of goated in the zone, though. It's at least got that going for it. Guys, have you watched the show Penguin on HBO Max? Because that show is fucking amazing. That show is so freaking good. Dude, I'm loving this damage. You have been watching it? They just got buffs to Flame Shaper, so yeah, there's no way Flame Shaper beats out the other one, Chrono Warden. Chrono Warden is just so good. I could not imagine playing Preservation Evoker without Chrono Warden. Really, I couldn't get into it. I mean, it might not be for everyone. I think it's like, I think it's so cool that they put together a show that like kind of hints at being from Batman, but you don't have to use Batman at all. How many episodes did you watch? I wonder. Because I kind of forgot about it. I watched like 3 episodes and then I think I like went on vacation, so I didn't watch it. And I got back into it today and I was like, dude, I need to know what happens. I think 2 or 3. Yeah, I mean, if you didn't get into it by then probably just not for you. I can't really remember the first episode. I kind of want to see if my wife wants to watch it. Yeah, that's why I said you did get buffs, you just don't matter since it's the same as Dev. Buffs, Flame Shaper, but unlikely to be played. Yeah. Dude, I'm sad I couldn't hit 2400 as Dev. Super sad about that.
What's the problem?
I need to get my car.
See you around.
Ride the hot rod.
Shop out there.
Dude, we keep riding in this freaking hot rod, but I don't get to drive it.
The Heats. My home turf.
He's infected every part.
Look at this gladiator right here.
The cartels ain't even standing up for themselves.
You're telling me, dude, you were right there. I thought you were going to get it.
Say, there is no rain in Undermine. Isn't really a sun either. Hey, Nikki! Venture works for Gallywix now. Why are Dark Fuse here?
Cause Dark Fuse keeps you nobody's in line.
What's going on here? What am I doing? Talk to Pansy?
Wow, look who it is.
You can't treat our own crew like this, Nikki.
I ain't like you. I'm at the big table. I'm going.
Okay, Radic, you get 2.4 as Dev, and I'll try to get 2.1 as Prez, maybe 2.4. We'll see.
You're the one who gets to stick around and mop up this mess.
It doesn't take long and you get. I mean, 2.4 isn't easy to get. I know people like to act like it is, but it's still a pretty big skill. I mean, there was only like, what, 140 devastation evokers or something like that? If I had put more than like a week into it, I'm sure I could have gotten it, but
Get is 20-hour shift.
it's not super easy.
Grimlaw sent you? She's a good one.
My game at 404 MMR and didn't get any. Had a very close round. Get 4th piece and didn't do it. Can't complain. That's the correct mindset to have, at least. Is like, you know, you could have done more or whatever. That's the thing about solo shuffle. Like, you can have really shit lobbies, but on average, like, your rating depends on your play. So, like, I just wasn't good enough to get it. I didn't even get up as close to as high as you were either. How high did I get last season, actually? I'm in Dev right now. Did I only get to 2309? I could have sworn I got to like 2350. That doesn't seem right. Maybe it is, though. Oh, wait, no, that's looking at preservation. Or is it? Am I on my main? Yeah, my preservation was like 2500, so that has to be does. I don't know. 2309 probably right. I could have sworn I got higher than that, though. I don't understand how people like just straight up queuing 3s and solo shuffles all this week. I can't find the motivation to do it when there's like nothing attached to it. I got to 2300 MMR, but 200 blitz. 2300 or okay, I see what you're saying. Nah, to my robs. I need to enable some of my add-ons again. I want to like uninstall all my add-ons and like start them all over again. We just queued a bunch of 2400 ret warrior. Warrior's broken. Yeah, I've heard warrior's crazy. I've heard it. I do want to play at some point this week. I want to get these quests knocked out though. I don't want to put it off and then wish I had done it this week when there was nothing to do. I was tripping earlier this week because I didn't have my week orders enabled. No balls. Do it? Do what? Queue some games? There's only 2 teams queuing. Yeah, you can share a clip. If I don't have like an auto blocker in my chat. Is this shuffled? I didn't ever get higher. Yeah, 2309 is my highest MMR. Crazy. I don't care about DMCA. Jeez, he just smacked you, huh? Christ, dude. The thing is, I feel like you can't really judge stuff this early because, like, I think everything is tuned based on the gear from, you know, next week. Our health pools are, like, literally gonna double day 1, I think. What am I doing? Skycopter footage. Yeah, we gotta get gear, of course. Yeah, we'll have like more verse, and then like people will lose their tier sets. That might be contributing to damage. You know, we'll gain new tier sets, so there'll be more damage that way. But as I was talking in last night's stream, from what I've heard, we'll have on average of 10 million HP. I thought I saw someone say 14 million. If it's only 10 million, then that actually does make things a little scary because that's only like 3k more than we have right now. I was really wanting to do some more delves. I kind of want to do the new dungeon on normal. Would that be weird? I feel like I'm lagging. Is that just like because of the new patch? Are they having issues? I'm so glad you play dev now. You understand why I keep playing it. Yeah, it's so much fun, man. Dude, and solo shuffle, the most fun, dude. Way more fun than fucking warrior, dude. Way more fun. It's so annoying having to worry about like staying on your target and shit. Zone is laggy, yes. Yeah, does not feel great right now. Like having input lag to my abilities. Blue beams. They talked about some warrior. It was 13 million HP when they testing on PTR, but they had some PTR gear that was like 770 something eye level, while the PvP gear got added after that. Which it's only like 675 or something. Interesting, interesting.
I have
You ready for your own wheels? Yeah, I'm ready for my own wheels, bro. Meet Nanny Tula on the 3rd floor of the shipping and handling.
You have come far, stranger. The black blood in a small storehouse. We must hurry. I have more deliveries. I'll be in touch.
Well, what are we waiting for? Let's go. These pipes were not great.
Too deep. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it.
Go patch up the leaks pronto.
How you doing tonight?
Rats are stinking up the
It's hard being this successful, beautiful, and smart at the same time.
How you gonna pay the lease?
Shipping and handle. You want to ship it? I'll handle it.
How do you drift? That's kind of cool. Also, no historian, but typically Mortal Strike doesn't get buffed by 66% and not tuned in PvP for deaths to be off by that much. That's true. What up, Sweepy Boop? Dude, Sweepy Boop, did I tell you thank you for your additions recently? I think maybe yesterday in the stream I did, but your addition where you add like how many people are targeting you is actually insane. I love that. Isn't there like a way to drift? How do you drift? Oh, it's space. Okay. So it's like Mario Kart. You gotta like jump and then drift. Interesting. Okay, okay.
Good deals, good service.
Access drive. No, we're keeping that.
I'll be around.
Spacebar. Oh, you just gotta hold it. Okay. Wait, so if does it jump at the end of it? Okay, it doesn't. Oh, okay, dude. Holy crap. Need to fucking zoom out. Drifting recovers your turbo meter. Then how do I use my turbo meter?
inflated balloons got loose, and now they're all over the place. Go on the roof and shoot a few down, yeah?
Stuck. I'm stuck. There we go.
Our people need to be better informed. Get out there and bring them the news.
Feel lighten and absolutely no airflow. Perfect day for a race.
Feels like I want to use like my key, like my turning keys for this type of mode. Okay, where are we going here? Get a job from Nanny Tula.
It's
Start a job.
Sugar. Let's make a
My sister like. Is this the job?
Red Hot Savings here. I'll be waiting.
Guys, nothing about this excites me like at all, dude. This is like honestly, I'm over PvE content like this, like world content. I think Classic might have ruined it for me, dude. I don't even know why, because it's still like the same type of quest, like go kill 3 of this, collect 4 of that, but it's like, I think it's because there's like 0 challenge in it, right? Like I just sit here and annihilate these things or something. I don't know. Is that like a way to get up there, like easier? Hmm.
What? You never seen a goblin lady this gorgeous before?
The Intercontinental Hotel. Is that like getting our hotel test run? Tridart invites me. What's up? Oh, shalom. What are the chances I could convince you to heal a 2v2 arena? I'll do 1. I just told you some 3 and then oh wait, cancel. Leave. Freak you. I'm dev. Run 1, 2, then I'll hop. Oh, wait. 46 seconds for a freaking twos game. Wait, am I dev spec still?
You can't just throw used batteries in the marina. Go fish them out. And get some electro glands from the eels while you're at it.
Drifting feels kind of weird. Does it surprise anyone that you can, what the hell is this? I haven't had the enemy arena frames like on ever. Let's put it over here. Okay. Let's see if I remember how to do this. Wait, my shit's not working. Oh yeah, it is. So I will be pressing every defensive against this DK and we will see what happens.
Nullifying shroud. Nullifying shroud. Nullifying shroud out. Tip thing.
Get wrecked. Lol. He tried. He tried. Dude, freaking Tridart annihilated that presence evoker. They've probably been annihilating other people all night.
Streets and chewing holes in everything. I want them gone.
What was the damage there? Slicing Winds did 6 million? 6 mil? 6 mil Slicing Winds? What? Hit 3 people? Rescue Rex DKs? Yeah. Alright, I'm gonna go play. All right, let's get a couple games. I'm gonna log off early tonight so I can make a thumbnail for the YouTube video, and then it only hit players for 2 million. GG. Yeah, dude, that was actually kind of fun. I kind of wish you could run some more, but I want to play a couple of these games. Or kills all demo ammos when running through them. Dude, giving monks slicing winds is so huge. I love to see that. I love to see it. Okay, let's queue it up. Here, I need to join the Discord. The Discord. Yo.
Yo.
What is this? No active PvP season found. Please check add-on up to date. Okay.
Oh, babe. Here we go. Here we go. Doing it up big. Cool. They're joining us.
No idea.
Did you join as healer or dev?
I don't want to see there.
Oh, okay, good. Oh, okay. It just shows that you're in dev spec now. Got it. Makes sense.
Yo, is there a way
Yo.
to pause a weak order, or do I have to just straight up delete it?
I have not found that either. If you can find it, I think you can like hide it. Because
Yeah,
yeah,
if
I
you
got
hit
that
the
kind of
little
going on too.
eyeball, if you hit the little eyeball icon, it'll
Ah,
hide it.
okay. I think I got it.
Yeah.
I've had that same issue though, like where it shows me it when I don't want to see it. Let me see if that works. Yeah, see, that didn't work for that one, but it may have been the wrong week or I don't know.
I need the giant nullifying shroud is available week aura, so I don't forget to use
Dude,
it
I
again.
added that on my evoker. It like actually helped me so much.
Yeah. I
Because I
definitely
was
need
I
that.
was forgetting to put it up like too often.
Even though I hate nullifying shroud, just if
Yeah.
it's in the game, I'm gonna use it.
You have to. I think I need to delete all of the non-skill capped weak auras.
Oh man. My P.
I just have
Yo,
too
why
many.
is swoop up still in the game? Who's using this?
People.
So the only way I could think of using swoop up is if you're on a flag carry map and you're the dev, right? You pick up the flag, you double hover out, then you swoop up, drag an enemy like as far as you can back towards your base, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then you rescue an ally as far as you can. Then you deep breath to get your hovers back, and you double hover back and you cap the flag.
Yeah, it could be good.
Or like you swoop up and like you just drop a person like right off the edge of the map or something. Like some sort of cheese like that.
Swoop up someone back to your Frosty Kids Pillar of the Lich King playing Draco.
Yeah. Oh, dude, yeah. There you go.
I think I have two of the same weak auras. These look like they're the same.
I swear, Draco Cleave with Flame Shaper is the only shot you ever have in playing Flame Shaper.
Does Flame Shaper just do more damage? I don't like.
Flame Shaper does more instant cast burst damage.
Gotcha.
And it's on the same, like it's on a very consistent like go. Like so you have it for every go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's pretty strong.
It's not working.
Oh no.
I'm just gonna delete it. Fuck it. Get out of here.
When are you ever gonna play with a pet? Come on. Be real. Let's see. Yeah, okay. So like arms warriors do lots of damage now, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Perfect.
Second wind.
Double sun?
Mortal strike. Fade. Avatar.
I'm on arms. Oh wait.
Dispersion. Spell reflection.
Killed Tide.
Power
Come on,
conversion.
kicked him
Oh,
on
I
Shadow.
picked the wrong person.
I don't have my sweepy boots up and it's killing me.
Sleeping.
Decent stasis. Rescue out of this.
Mind blessed. Fade. Big heal.
Got you 1 second. You are just taking the dick, bro.
Second
Every
wind.
time that warrior
Spell
touches you, it's like.
reflection. Trust. Very mortal strike. Die by the sword.
Oh my god.
I know, dude. It's insane.
Mind blessed.
Sleeping warrior.
Big heal.
I'm gonna sleep shaman. Gonna get kicked on it. Killed his primer.
Second wind.
Nice. Thank you.
Very mortal strike.
Yeah, Immortal Strike.
Mind blessed. Avatar.
Kick that.
Ascendance.
You're dead, dude. Yeah, good turtle, good turtle.
Okay.
Second wind. Fade.
Oh god.
Intervene.
Train the shaman.
Second wind. Ascendance. Dispersion.
Big damage.
Yep.
Reflection. Very mortal strike. Fade. Power infusion.
no.
Sleeping
You're
warrior.
dead, you're dead.
Berserker range.
Resleep.
Where'd you go?
Mind blessed.
I can't see where you are because my fucking sweepy boots isn't working.
Fade. Second wind.
You're just dead here, I think.
Very mortal strike.
Yeah, Immortal Strike. Any defenses you have?
Blade storm. Fade.
You have time dial?
Vacate.
I'm almost doom.
Die by the sword. Second wind.
Gotta hit this warrior.
Okay.
Shit.
Self reflection. Fade.
Any healer?
Vacate.
Communing?
Berserker range.
Get in my line.
Mind blessed. Mind
Yeah,
blessed.
you're dead. I've
Very mortal strike. Spell reflection.
Ah, I got him.
nice, dude. Dude, that was fucking by the skin of our teeth here.
Nah, perfectly calculated. There's
Perfectly
nothing wrong.
counted.
Second wind.
I
You see
wasn't
how it
worried
is,
at all.
Santi? You see how it is? Bro, I did 2 times the healing. That fucking warrior. Oh, he didn't do as much damage as I thought he did. He just fucking chunked.
Yeah.
He just chunked when he was hitting somebody. I'm sorry, Santi. I'm sorry.
Had to do it to him, Santi.
Had to do it to him. I wasn't feeling arenas when you queued, but then I did like 3 quests and I was like, this is stupid. Or when you asked, rather.
Plus,
Oh my
he
God.
went
That sounded so evil.
Do we play in?
plus he wants to play with
Centigrade?
another dragon. But it really is.
Mark sub.
Oh, did Moon already find a team? Is this Moon?
Maybe.
Clearly, he's the only disciplined play.
No, I hope I queue into you. I hope you queue into us too. Be a lot like that solo shuffle that we had last day of the season.
Ooh!
I'm just kidding.
Yo, I hope we queue into you too, but then again, I don't want to send you to the forums to complain about devastation evokers.
What comp are you running, Brett Warrior? I'm not playing my secret tech.
Nice.
Power
I'm in
infusion.
combat.
Yes. True shot.
Hunter.
You have time dial.
Shadow
Playing the healer. Got.
Oh my God, I got scared.
Yeah, I mean,
angel damage.
I'm not used to what people can do now.
Disarm me.
Stun pool. Probably get trapped here.
I have rescue if you
Probably
need.
wall if they
Oh,
get on you.
dead.
Bring it, rewind. Half feared.
Shadow dance.
Damn.
Oh wow. Look at that.
I had buttons. I didn't.
Mind
I
blend.
mean, I don't know what hit me.
I mean, you just shadow dance you and
Oh, you shadow dance without a stun?
Yep.
I didn't even notice. Dang it.
doesn't matter. I can just do that now. I'm
Well,
moving.
without a stun, man, I should have pressed a button. I didn't realize you shadow dance twice.
Oh no, my ring. Oh wait, doesn't matter. I did hit a good. I played Chrono Loop because I didn't play Null Shroud. I hit a pretty good Chrono Loop in the beginning there. The priest burned. I forget what it was. I don't know. He shot to 100% health and then went back down to like 30. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Oh no, is it Santi? Nope. I was gonna play some Resto Shaman tonight. See what that feels like.
Do it. You won't.
When CD says Prez doesn't feel as good as Resto Shaman, it gets me a little chub.
You want to go arms here? Or just swap around? Alright.
Definitely swap on like
Defense stance.
very.
Yeah.
I just.
Very mortal strike. Die by the sword. Avatar.
Swapping on parry.
Defense stance. Nice.
Hey, I hit him for 3
I
mil.
love that shit.
Wait, what happened? What
I hit him
happened
for 3 mil. Oops.
Poor warriors are trying to cue the
Yo.
overpowered shit.
Yo, I'm used to being the one that does that. What?
Aim shot for 3 million.
Rats are stinking up the streets and chewing holes. in
Dude,
everything.
holy
I
blah, 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 blah. Have fun, Blizzard. You have lots of tuning to do. Or our health pools better go up a lot.
Yeah.
Alright, rematch. Press wall when he presses damage. Okay.
Generally advised.
How long did it take to get your car?
I mean, once you get to Undermine, not that much longer, but
I feel like I must have missed the quest because like.
It's a side quest, actually.
yeah, it's not like a main quest, yeah.
Oh, okay, then I definitely missed it.
It's the one with the purple icon.
Oh, well, I definitely see those.
Yeah. The purple pink icon, whatever. Alright, cool. Let's
Maybe it's
go
just
kill
in
the
my
thing.
collection already. Alright, who are we going?
Probably MM, but we could swap around.
Bekiel.
Zapped. Nice.
True shot.
Zapped again.
Oh no.
Archangel. Damage. Shadow blade. Bekiel.
Going on marksman.
Shadow dance.
Your shadow dance.
Power infusion.
Me. I turtle. Oh my god, dude. Weapon healer.
I got him chrono looped.
Full frozen, care.
Shadow dance.
I'm dead, dead, dead. Let's go, let's go.
Damage. Penitence.
Meaning,
Penitence.
probably overdoing it, but fine. Yeah, time dial.
One rogue.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna I'm feared actually. Nice.
Here, it's you. Let's give him
I'm
something.
dead.
Yeah. So dumb, man. You got overdid with the communion.
Shadow dance.
I feel like I took a turtle sword, but like I
I
took
don't
half
think you
my
needed a turtle. I think a wall would have been good enough.
the first go.
Yeah. Because I had stasis. And I don't think I was in CC either.
Just lost like over half my HP in one global. Like I
Yeah, no, I mean, it's,
Well,
yeah, no, I get it.
Guys, it is like day 2 of the patch with 0 PvP balancing. Everything's broke right now. We almost killed that rogue too, twice. Yeah, that was close. I think I accidentally double pressed my wall too, so that was not good.
I mean, I overpressed with my communion too. Like, I think we had lived it already, and it's hard though. It's hard to know because we don't know what to expect.
Yeah, very true.
I don't understand how I'm getting.
Yo, I might not be the biggest fan of like goblins and the whole goblin theme, but like this music slaps.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Music is goated.
All right, it's gonna be my last game.
All right, feels like they tried to make like WoW version of GTA. Yo, come on. Where's Santi at? I feel like he's definitely gonna go after me. Just for the pride. Alright, let's see. Yo, Pika started a mage.
He's not dying. He's like, we're done dying.
Yeah. Pika started a mage.
What is the most like easily to stay alive? I feel like it's got to be rogue, right?
Hunter or rogue, I would say. But like that only like rogue is only if you make it to like where you
30,
get
yeah.
vanish.
Ooh, level 22.
Is it only level 22? I thought it was 30.
22.
I mean, rogue is hard at the lower levels though. You're very squishy and you don't do as much damage as like a warrior or something.
I feel like druid is also up there with like really good, because you don't have to worry about weapons and like upgrading that, and you have bear form and stuff.
Burger King.
God.
Yeah, time dilation.
Sweeping strike. Blade storm. Spell reflection. Intervene.
Like Chrono Loop the warrior.
Defense stance.
Hitting.
stance. X.
Pick the hex.
Very mortal strike.
Sleep the.
Done. I'm training.
Berserker range. X.
I'm gonna rescue you. I'm stunned.
Defense stance. Spell reflection. Shaylun's gift.
Running.
Sweeping strikes.
Bringing the healer.
Sleeping the shaman.
Very mortal strike. Defense stance.
No, good save, good save.
Avatar. Sweeping strikes.
Bring healer.
Very mortal
Yeah.
strike.
I don't.
Die by the sword.
You're probably dead.
Yeah, I'm dead.
Shaylun's
Rescue him.
gift.
Rescue him. Rescue him.
Where?
Stance.
Yep.
Spell reflection. Defense stance. Defense stance. Success.
I gave my hex
Ah,
again.
get you in a second. Yep.
Thank you.
Very mortal strike.
We're dead. We're dead. Rescue
I'm
you.
gonna sleep the warrior actually.
Berserker range.
You die,
Damn.
not as a true cult hero. Ears and noses will litter the floors today.
Dude, what is this? What is he hitting for?
All right. I'm going to log off for the evening, go spend a little time with my wife. Thank y'all for being part of the stream. Make sure you check out
Alrighty,
Overlord Moon on YouTube and Twitch. See who we can raid into real quick. Ooh, Baker
So-
Ice is going to go from rank 1 Shadow Priest and Glad next season.
Yo, he had a Mortal Strike crit for 3.1 million. What the fuck? That's so silly.
Thanks again for the chat. Yeah, thanks, Moon. Did you get the video? Were you able to download it?
Jesus, dude, what is warrior right now?
I'm guessing you did.
Fuck.
Peace. I think he was just about to hit me up to heal.